Let's talk about real estate in Ventura County and Los Angeles County. Just digging into this area, I want to start off with a chart that's brand new. It just really puts things in perspective. I recently posted it up to my personal Facebook account, which you can see right here. I'm going to zoom in because I want to showcase what's actually going on nationally, but more importantly, look at the middle right here where you have the United States and then you've got Los Angeles, California, right there in the middle. This tells me a few things. Here's what you have to be paying attention to. Los Angeles as a whole, Ventura County is not on there because it's one of the big metro areas, but Los Angeles as a whole is getting closer to being very even, not a seller's market and not a buyer's market. If I go back to this and show you what's actually happening, you can tell on the far right, Tampa, Austin, Dallas, right, Florida and Texas, and far left, the northeast, you've got Connecticut, parts of New York. Those areas are doing extremely well. Two completely opposite markets. We're in the middle. Ventura County's the same as well. Now, I'm going to show you something that I've been learning along the way, especially with tariffs happening, the tariff situation happening. Here's what I've got. Los Angeles and Orange County housing market forecast. Forget Orange County for a second. I want to mention this piece. This is an article that came out just about 2 weeks ago, maybe about a week and a half ago. Read this with me, all right? Because this is important to understand about Los Angeles, not Ventura County, but Los Angeles. LA's biggest employment sector, trade, transportation, and utilities, could be rattled by imposition of new tariffs by the Trump administration. The Port of Los Angeles is expecting a 10% decline in volume for the second half of 2025, with the effect on jobs unknown. Here's what that's telling us. With the tariff situation not really having a lot of clarity as to where we're at with that, because today the Fed came out and said, you know what, we would tell you where we were going as far as rates if we would understand better where we were going with tariffs. And we just don't have a clear indication. So when you're looking at the tariff situation for California, that as a whole has caused a lot of people to feel like maybe this isn't the right time to purchase. Maybe this isn't the right time to even sell. And so I want to dig into two cities, Los Angeles and Ventura County, two cities there. And I want to dig into one thing that I've got here, Altos market data. I'm going to type in a city out here, and we're going to go for Thousand Oaks in Ventura County, okay? Now I want to show you on the right here, you're going to see the real-time market. Let's go Thousand Oaks as a whole. I want to view this report, and you're going to see houses and condos. More importantly, this market action index. It's pointing to saying, hey, wait a second, we're more in a seller's market, not completely, but it's a light seller's market. And I would have to say they're about right, because we take a look over here and we zoom into this chart, this real-time market profile. And you've got the median list price, about $1,365,000. That's house, right? We'll go to condos really quick. And to me, the important thing is this median days on market. Look, I'm going to zoom in a lot. Look at March, 7 days on market, 14, slowly creeping up. It's creeping up. And now all of a sudden it takes a little over a month on average. By the way, if you combine condos and houses, we're looking at average days on market being in the 40s. So about a month and a half. And think about this. It's the summer, right? It's the summer. And look at the other piece that's important. Price decreased in Thousand Oaks. Now, this is normal. That's one thing I tell people. Look, when there are more properties and we're in the summer, a lot more people want to sell their home. They don't often price it right from the beginning. So they're going to have to do decreases. Anywhere in the 30s is normal. Even sometimes in the low 40s is quite normal. Now, I'm going to go over and take a look at another city. This time, instead of Ventura County, we're going to take a look at somewhere in Los Angeles. I'm going to pick a random one. Let's go for Sherman Oaks. Sherman Oaks, and they're not too far away. Maybe I should have chosen something like Long Beach, but let's go for Sherman Oaks as a whole. Much higher price point. You see, now here, you see the difference? not too far away, maybe a 30-minute drive with no traffic. Now it's an even market. That's pretty interesting. And you go over to the right, you take a look at this median home price, right? List price, 2 million. Let's just call it 2.5 million. Now, look at this median days on market. It was up a little bit, gone down, 56.49, 56.49. It's about 50 and it's staying even, right? Which goes with this over here. Means that it's a pretty even market. Now we take a look at condos, and we'll go back and take a look at this. But you take a look at condos. Condos are taking a little bit longer, lower price point, right? But a little bit longer to sell. Look at this. It was at 39, now 53. Not too much more, right? Not too much more. And if we go back to Thousand Oaks, just to show you the difference, I'm going to go to Thousand Oaks. I'm going to hit condos and look at that. It's about an even market, maybe even leaning slightly to a buyer's market. But look at this. Median days on market, 39. Price decrease, 39. So that's pretty even. I know we ran the numbers locally because this might be about a week off, but we're looking at about 41 days on the market in Thousand Oaks. But now we take a look at the overall market, and I want you to pay attention to Ventura County as a whole, not LA. We're going to go in Ventura County, and then we'll alternate, next week we'll LA, but today, Ventura County. You take a look at this right here. You have a plus, let's just call it 5% year over year, right? 4.6% year over year, median sale price. That's pretty good. The shocker for me are the number of homes sold year over year. It's decreasing, right? Look at this. There's just not enough homes selling because there wasn't enough inventory and people couldn't afford what was up there, right? So median days on market, 42. There you go. See, that's the way I just checked. I knew it was 41 or 42. It's 8 year over year. It's going up. And the crazy thing is, I believe based on what's happening, that we're going to start seeing days on market increase in Thousand Oaks and in Los Angeles. More inventory is going to start popping up, and that means prices are going to stay stale in the most parts. Maybe increase a little bit, maybe decrease a little bit, but not by much. Look at this. Look at this graph year over year from May. It's stayed pretty equal throughout the whole time, right? I would say 889 plus 0.46%. You're probably counting this drop in a slight up just a little bit, but man, I don't know where that totally ends up. Here are some stats, some numbers, some actual numbers from May 2025. And I want to show you two areas. Los Angeles, right in the middle here, Los Angeles. You look at year over year change, May 2024, 840,000. And now we're at 855,000. Year over year, that's a 1.8% increase. I don't know that we'll have that big of a difference this year. Maybe it's going to be closer to 1%, maybe slightly under. And then we take a look at Ventura County right here, right? You've got Ventura County, 985,000 currently. That's where we're at as a whole. And then you've got May 24, 925. That's a bigger increase, right? Price change year over year, 6.5%. I still estimate that'll go down probably closer to about, I would say 4%, maybe even the 3%. Now we take a look at what's on the market. How many months of supply is on the market? This is LA, right? We take a look at just the last 3 months, March, April, May. We got 3.6, 3.6, 3.9, slightly increasing, even though February was a little high there. What we're looking at just overall here, and very similar in Ventura County, if I scroll over to the right, you're going to see, I think it was BA over here. BA. Yeah, there you go, BA. You're going to start seeing the same thing. See here, we're starting to see an increase in the amount of inventory. So now we have 3.7 months worth of inventory. What this means actually is it would take, if no other listings came up on the market, it would take 3.7 months to sell what's there. We go back to LA, it'd be 3.9. That number is going to increase. And you're asking me, what is the average, Tristan? How many months of supply would a normal market have, which we haven't had a normal market in years? It's 5 to 6. 5 to 6. So we're going into more of a normal market where it's not either a buyer's market or a seller's market. Now, there are pockets, and price points do matter. We'll talk about that next time. Thank you for joining me today. Hopefully you got something out of this. If you did, please share it with somebody else. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm in Ventura County, grew up in LA County, real estate agent here for 21 years. Have an awesome day.